Arash Markazi is a sports columnist for the LA Times, formerly a senior writer at Sports Illustrated and ESPN. And you decided, I'm going to go back to Los Angeles. I'm going to cover Los Angeles teams. And boy, did you step into a dysfunction salad. You just get this job. And it is remarkable. Generally speaking, there's an advantage to be with the Dallas Cowboys, the Green Bay Packers, these historic franchises. Players want to play for them. Notre Dame, coaches want to coach for them. A moment, Joy and I talked about this last week, when Monty Williams chose the Suns. That's one of those, that would be in college football choosing UCF over Florida. You'd be like, oh, Florida's got problems right now. Central Florida got the job. Let me ask you, do you think they land any free agent?
No superstar free agent, no one that you would want to build a team around. And Colin, let's go back. It began with Luke. Luke wanted at that point to leave because the only way he was going to stay, and I think he would have stayed, they wanted to handpick his assistant coaches. They love that apparently. So Luke was like, you know what? Let's part ways mutually, one of the few mutual parting ways. So he chose to leave to go to the Sacramento Kings. Monty Williams chose to not take the job to go to the Phoenix Suns. And Tyronn Lue chose not to come for self-respect. Don't treat me like a first-year head coach. Let me pick my assistant coaches. Just give me the same contract Luke Walton got. Luke Walton had never been a head coach. Tyronn Lue won a championship. And you're telling me that you're going to handpick my assistant coaches? And Colin, he was already going to walk in with this perception that he was LeBron's guy. And he's saying, give me a chance. Don't give me the same terms that LeBron has. So LeBron's got 3 years on his deal. You're going to give me a 3-year contract. Give me a chance to walk in here with my guys and a 5-year deal. Colin, this is a $4 billion franchise. You can't give me a 5-year deal? And if you really believe that I'm your coach, give me that kind of respect. And they chose not to.
What do you make of, I know Kurt Rambis, I've met Linda once, they're both really nice people. Mm-hmm. I don't have a problem with Jeannie Buss having a confidant. I think lots of people that run lots of organizations have confidants. Linda's smart, Kurt's smart. What do you make of these stories that I saw this one this morning, that they are in Jeannie's ear saying, trade LeBron?
Yeah. First of all, I don't think LeBron's going, I think he came here because of Los Angeles. Yeah. I've been to a Maverick Carter premiere. And whenever I've been at these movie premieres for shows that they've done, whether it's a documentary or The Shop, it's so clear that he came here for Los Angeles. He's not going to go to Philadelphia. He's not going to go someplace else. Right. I got a text from a league executive who said they were in a better position when Jim Buss was there. And I said, well, what are you talking about? Why? Because at least they had Mitch Kupchak. Colin, they have Rob Pelinka. Rob Pelinka's never had this job before. Prior to that, Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson never had this job before. They have people in place who've never had this job. Right. So at least with Jim Buss, you had Mitch Kupchak. Mitch Kupchak is a respected man around the league.
He made a lot of good personnel moves for 15, 20 years.
And people are going to take his phone calls. There's a lot of people not taking Rob Pelinka's phone calls still.
It's interesting because Pelinka's getting beat up by yourself and others in the media, so he's kind of pushing back. Sure. He doesn't want to talk to anybody. It's a weird situation where nobody can figure out. I'll just throw this at you. Chris Broussard said this, and as we prepared for our show, Arash Markazi joining us for our radio listeners, we said this morning, I love the band the Eagles. They fought the whole time. Yeah. They were together and great. They broke up, had some individual success, got back together. They're always better together. It's never easy with the Eagles. They fought the entire time. It's never been perfect together. They both think they're ones. One is, one isn't. Mm-hmm. What about Kyrie? What about LeBron being an active recruiter on Kyrie Irving?
I think they are the ones who know how good their relationship is. I think they are in a good spot right now. Whether they want to be teammates, again, I'm not quite sure. But you brought up a great point. Kyrie is a Hall of Fame number 2 guy, and there's nothing wrong with that. James Worthy, Hall of Fame number 2 guy. Scottie Pippen, Hall of Fame number 2 guy. He's not a number 1 guy. So if he comes to that realization and he wants to come to Los Angeles and team up with LeBron, that is their best case scenario. Because right now, Colin, you're looking at Jimmy Butler, Kemba Walker. I mean, to give a max contract to one of those guys, that's not a smart decision, and that's probably the decision that they will make.
Okay, if I said to you because I would think the Lakers would have to have a coach and a general manager when free agency starts. I mean, what player would come to a rudderless ship? So if I said to you, who will be the top, take Genie out, who will be the top 2 people running the Lakers in a month?
Rob Pelinka and Kurt Rambis.
Who will be the coach in a month?
Jason Kidd.
All right. Well,
to think like there should be a line out the door. You're talking about the Los Angeles Lakers with LeBron James and a max contract. This should be a prime job. And you had 2 guys basically say no thank you to go to the Sacramento Kings and the Phoenix Suns, and one guy say I would rather not work than work for you guys. It is a bad position right now.
Wow. Do you think LeBron would ever demand a trade? You don't think he?
No, because I really think he chose Los Angeles. He will retire here. He will live here. He's got movies, the documentaries, TV shows. I mean, listen, I don't think he thought it was going to be this bad, but he's not going to go chase a ring someplace else.
Yeah. Let's shift to Chris Paul, who you covered for years with the Clippers. I always liked Chris. Wake Forest, tough, smart, heady. I thought he and Harden would work because they're smart dudes, and I always kind of believe that smart people work when you put them together. I don't know what's happened. I always defended Chris on his postseason failures. I said, he's playing with DeAndre Jordan's not perfect. Blake can be high maintenance. What has happened to Chris Paul? He now appears to be, and I'm being serious. James is our best player. Eric Gordon's 2. PJ Tucker's a 3rd. I think I trust Clint Capella down low. What's happened to Chris Paul? He's not shooting.
Yeah, I mean, he has hit that wall. And when he signed that contract, Colin, I said that is the worst contract right now. I mean, his last year, he's making over $40 million, and that's 3 years from today. So he's hit the wall today. 3 years from now, he's on the book for over $40 million.
Do you believe this is a physical thing and not an emotional thing?
Yes. He is a player who has always been nicked up and has not been himself at the end of the season.
He's like Dwayne Wade. He plays hard.
Exactly.
He's in you. He's up in you. Like Dwayne crashes 16
and Chris
times
is the
a
most
week.
competitive guy that I know. Like when he does those things where he'll hit you in the groin. And I mean, he wants to win so badly. And for him to be in this situation again where he's hit the wall physically and he's with a team that's very good but just can't get over the hump, it's a very frustrating situation. That's why the Clippers had to move on from that. That core group, as good as they were, that Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, like they had hit that wall.
They absolutely hit a wall. I want to go to the Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi tonight plays Philadelphia. I think Toronto's going to win. I think Philadelphia has more talent. I think Kawhi is playing at like an MJ absurd level where he doesn't miss shots. Okay, so there's a lot of stories out there, and we both know Woj, and we respect him. But I said yesterday his Woj bomb's the only one I didn't believe, which is Kawhi is considering staying in Toronto, and my pushback is Kawhi doesn't talk. Nobody knows anything with Kawhi. It's the only time Woj has said anything, I'm like, I don't know if I... Okay, I can make a very good sales pitch for Toronto. Sophisticated city. It's the 3rd biggest city in North America after New York and L.A. They win. They are building the franchise around him. You can sort of hide. They got a Major League Baseball team. They got their hockey. They got... Toronto's a big city, okay? Yeah. It's way up north. I can make a compelling argument if they beat Philadelphia that Kawhi doesn't leave Toronto. What are you hearing?
Kawhi does not even talk to people that he's close with. So I don't think anyone truly knows what he's going to do, but I'm going to give you an example. There's going to be a pitch meeting, and 3 people that we know really well are going to walk in there. Jerry West, Steve Ballmer, and Doc Rivers. 3 of the most... just guys that you want to follow and play for.
Juice.
And, I mean, and compare that to the Lakers, who roll in with 7 people, and it's Jeannie Buss and Linda Rambis and Kurt Rambis and Tim Harris and Jesse Buss.
By the
and
way, I can like all of those people.
Exactly, which I do.
By the way, but Ballmer, West, and Doc...
3 of the most accomplished people in their particular fields.
Listen, if you're in a room with Doc Rivers, and I have been, there's a presence with Doc. That's not that I can like all the Laker people that I know I do.
Yeah.
But if you put Ballmer, one of the richest people in the world, Doc and Jerry West.
And don't discount Jerry West when it comes to these big names. If you talk to Shaquille O'Neal, that's why he came. If you talk to KD, that was a big reason he went to the Warriors.
Good stuff. Arash Markazi, sports columnist, the LA Times, a newspaper hiring and breaking stories. Hour 3 next.